Hi, everyone, and welcome to Our Disabled Future, a series where disabled voices lead the way. I'm your host, Nico, and it is a good day for disability inclusion. Each day, during Disability Pride Month and beyond, I'm amplifying real disabled stories, where we are, where we want to go, and how the heck we're going to get there. Together, I hope. Today, I'm thrilled to be joined by Cris. Let's dive in. Hi, Cris. Thank you for joining me.
No problem. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Of course. So tell us about yourself and about your disabled life.
Sure, certainly. My name's Chris, Cris. There's no H in my name for some reason we've never been able to figure out. And I'm 50 years old. I live in St. Louis, Missouri, and I founded and run a nonprofit called So Quiet. It's a 501(c)(3) nonprofit that really works worldwide, definitely nationwide. For one specific thing. We do research and advocacy and awareness for a sensory condition called misophonia that is getting more well known, but there's not really there's a gap in information from medical professionals and so forth. Misophonia is really common. We'll talk more about what it is, but it's not rare at all. It's just not well known and can have a huge impact on somebody's life, including mine and schooling and professional attempts and relationships and all of that. So that's me. Yep.
Chris, thank you so much for that exposition. So, what does a disability friendly future look like for you?
That's a great question. Um, something that is, I guess, getting a lot more headway, a lot more awareness, thanks to other communities that have come before us, is sensory disabilities. There's a lot of different ways that can look, and awareness is a big part of it. The fact that people's senses process the world and interpret the world, and our brains interpret the world in different ways. Um, I think just understanding that and taking some time to understand before judging, like a lot of things can be. As far as what the world would look like, just it's getting there, but the understanding that everybody's brain can work differently, and we all have things that can help us out, and having folks who understand that that society is built around that. We're sort of comparing the medical model versus the social model of disability here. The social model is, this kind of high tech post-industrial age we live in was set up for a particular type of neurotypical person, and the people who are not that can find that how we've put together civilization is not necessarily conducive to our well-being. So working on that, I think maybe an answer. It's very vague, but you get you get the idea.
Sure, thank you. I really enjoyed hearing about how misophonia and other sensory disorders are coming into a greater focus as we go on.
hmm
So, how do we get to that future that we just envisioned? What's our strategy?
Well, it's been very eye-opening, a few things. There is a disability pride flag, which I just recently found out about, and I was really charmed that one of the stripes on there, the kind of green stripe, is for sensory disabilities. So that meant a lot to us with misophonia and similar sensory conditions, sensory disorders, disabilities. And love it or hate it, the definition of what qualifies as a disability under things like the ADA or Section 504 for the education here in the United States is very broad, and it doesn't define what specific terms fall under that. It's just a definition of what can be considered disabling to somebody. And misophonia, which we don't quite yet have like diagnostic criteria, but we're getting there, can fall under that. So we have a lot of people who can ask for accommodations at work and their place of employment or living situations under that broad definition. So I've learned a lot myself. The word misophonia wasn't coined until 2001, and most people haven't found out about it before the last 7 or 8 years ago. So the idea that this thing that has been so frustrating to me throughout my life for decades has a name and is studied, and that there's a community around it, just that has been very helpful, not suffering alone or feeling like we're by ourselves and and nobody else understands this. More of that is very helpful.
I love that sense of community. It can be
Right.
really strengthening.
For sure.
All right, Cris. I've enjoyed getting to know more about your efforts and about misophonia's progression in general.
Yeah.
As we close our time together today, I want to give you a chance that you and I, as disabled people, rarely get, and that is a chance to brag about yourself. Maybe you have something in progress that you want to brag about or something you recently completed. If you want to build your brand or your nonprofit's brand online, where can we find you? This is just your chance to be a cheerleader for yourself. So
Well,
let's
thank
hear
you
it.
for that. I don't know that I'm great at that. We're at soquiet.org, and I would say if I was going to brag about something is we teamed up with a lot of other organizations around the world that represent advocacy and awareness for misophonia from India, Iran, Paris, Brazil to create World Misophonia Awareness Day, which will be on July the 9th. We never had an awareness day or week before this, so that's very exciting. Yeah,
Congratulations. Happy early World Misophonia Day.
thanks.
All right. Okay, folks, tune in next time. Remember, this is our disabled future, and we're building it one day at a time together. Wherever you go and whatever you do, I'm rooting for you, and I can't wait to see what you do next. Bye.